All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, we are going to open up our discussion on angle pair relationships. Now, what we're going to see is that there are a variety of different relationships that happen between types of angles. And so in this first video, we are going to specifically address three angle pair relationships. We are going to look at adjacent, complementary, and supplementary angles, and then in our following video, we will start looking at vertical angles. So let's take a look here first and foremost at adjacent angles. What are adjacent angles? Well, let's first and foremost break down the word adjacent. Adjacent just simply means next to one another, just next to one another. So adjacent angles are angles that are directly next to one another because they share one side and have a common vertex. So ABC and CBX would be considered adjacent because they share ray BC and have a common vertex of angle B, or of point B, excuse me. So let's think of how this could be useful. Well, adjacent angles really are all a part of what postulate that we learned before? Well, really, adjacent angles are kind of just the backbone of the angle addition postulate. So ABC plus CBX would equal ABX. So what's some more possible relationships, I guess, that we could possibly have with angles? Well, let's talk here first and foremost about complementary angles. All right, hopefully that is not a new term for us, but complementary angles are simply two angles that add up to 90 degrees. We would call one being a complement of 2, or 2 a complement of 1 if together they add up to 90 degrees. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. Complementary angles do not have to be adjacent. Yes, in this example, of course, they are adjacent. They are right next to each other, but they do not have to be adjacent. Why? Because the definition simply states it's two angles that add to 90 degrees. That is it. So how can we maybe remember complementary angles? So hang on to your seats, folks. I got a corny one for you. So what do we know? Well, we know that 90 degrees is a right angle. And to give a compliment to someone is the right thing to do. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's corny, but it's not bad. So that's hopefully a good way to help us kind of remember complementary angles. What about our last one of this video, which is supplementary angles? Supplementary angles, just simply put, is two angles that add up to 180 degrees. Again, they don't necessarily have to be adjacent. We will talk about what they are called when they are adjacent in some future videos. I'll give you a little teaser. They're called a linear pair, but we will look specifically into what they are. But simply, supplementary is just two angles that add up to 180 degrees. And I wish I had some kind of funny, corny thing to help you with supplementary angles. I did think of one year, and so it didn't really go over too well. So I'm not going to say it here, but maybe you can kind of do some more research of some ways to help you remember supplementary angles as 180 degrees.